Hey guys, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Chris and this is WallowaHikes, a channel for new backpackers. So if you're just starting out, you've probably purchased a backpack. And after taking a look at that, maybe it looks like a tangle of mystery straps. Now, every one of these straps has a purpose, and adjusting them properly can make the difference between a miserable hike and a really great experience out there. So today we're going to demystify every strap and loop on that backpack, so when you get out there, you're going to know what you're doing. So let's dive in. We're going to start with the 4 most important straps for fitting the backpack to your body and distributing weight. You want about 80% of that weight on your hips and about 20% on your shoulders. Now, if you're interested in how to make this all fit properly, I have a separate video on how to fit a backpack, and I'll leave a link down below to that. Some of the images in this video are from that. So starting with the hip belt, this is your workhorse. This is going to carry most of the weight that's on your back. The hip belt's going to transfer as much weight as possible from your shoulders onto your strongest muscles in your body, which are your legs. Now the padding should rest right over your iliac crest, which is the top of your hip bone there. This is going to make your trip most comfortable if you have that fitted properly. When you're fitting your backpack, this is going to be the first strap that you buckle and cinch up. Now, if you're new, that might seem counterintuitive because if you've used any kind of backpack before, most of that weight goes on your shoulders. But if you're backpacking, you're going to want the majority of that weight right around your hips. This is going to make it a lot easier along the way and at the end of the day. Now, the shoulder straps go, well, over your shoulders, obviously. So these are primarily to keep the pack close to your body and stable. They are not for carrying the majority of the weight. You're only going to tighten these up enough to keep your load stable. And if you over tighten these, you're going to be shifting the majority of the weight to your shoulders and off of those leg muscles. And that's what leads to the majority of pain that backpackers experience. So remember, waist belt is going to carry most of your load. Those shoulder straps, just for keeping it on you. Now at the top of those shoulder straps, right above the shoulders, are 2 more straps, one on each side. These are called load lifters. These connect the top of the pack to the shoulder straps. Now these are not just for show. The load lifters actually help you pull the weight from the top of the backpack toward your body. This prevents the load from leaning back away from you, which pulls you off balance and shifts a lot of that weight, again, away from your body, making it harder to carry. So adjusting those load lifters to bring the top up closer to your back makes for an easier trip. And you're going to want these generally at about a 45-degree angle. And finally, the sternum strap. This goes across your chest. Usually these can be adjusted up or down based on your preference. These are not carrying any part of the load. They have 2 purposes. One is to keep your shoulder straps from moving outward. And second, it brings the pack in closer so that you're not shifting and moving side to side, back. Basically, it's keeping everything in place as far as those straps go. So you don't have to cinch it up super tight, but you will find that using the sternum strap is going to keep everything else in place and make it a little bit easier as you're hiking. All right, so the core 4 are done. And you probably could have figured all of those out on your own. But what about all of these other straps? Now, some backpacks are fairly minimal as far as straps and loops, while others have so many it's really hard to tell what does what. So let's take a look at some of those. Compression straps. Now, usually these are going to be on the side of the pack, but you may find them along the back. And the main purpose of these is to compress your load. So if you have extra room in your backpack, a lot of things kind of move around, jostle, maybe throw you off balance. So compression straps are to compress that load. So after you've loaded your backpack and everything else seems to be in place, you can use those compression straps to bring the load in and make it nice and compact so it's easier to carry, and it'll keep it close to your body. And a great thing about the side compression straps is if you use trekking poles, or maybe you're carrying a tripod or something, if you put those things in your side pouches, the water bottle holders there, you can use these side compression straps to keep that in place, whether it's a trekking pole or something else. It gives you a little bit of peace of mind knowing that if you stop to bend over to get some water, that the stuff on the sides is not going to just flop out. Now, many backpacks have a couple of straps on the bottom. Now, these can serve two purposes. Now, if you have a zipper on the bottom where you have a compartment to store a sleeping bag, those straps are going to give you a little bit of extra peace of mind beyond the zipper there, because the straps are going to keep anything from escaping if the zipper comes open. But primarily, backpackers use these straps to attach extra items on the outside. Usually, if somebody has an old style sleeping pad, occasionally a sleeping bag, or maybe even a tent, you can use these straps on the bottom to attach those items. Make sure you cinch them up tightly so you don't lose anything along the way. Now, a lot of backpacks are going to have similar straps on the top, one or two straps that go over the top of your backpack. And these can also be used to attach gear as well as secure the top of your pack. And one thing that people often will attach to these is a bear canister, because those take up a lot of room, they're hard to fit in your pack, and they're pretty annoying overall. But if you have these straps on the top of your backpack, it's going to help you attach that after you've filled everything up. It's not going to be in the way, it's not going to put you off balance. So those can be pretty handy for that. You can use them for other items as well. Play around with them, find what you prefer. And now for the little stuff that makes a big difference for convenience. At the bottom of your backpack, you'll often find a little loop, or maybe two loops, one on each side. These are called ice axe loops or tool loops. And these are usually used in conjunction with shock cord higher up on the pack. Used together, you can carry longer items. These are perfect for an ice axe, although they can be a little confusing to use for the first time. But if you're carrying an ice axe, you're going to slide this through. Then you're going to flip the handle up and attach it with that elastic. You can do the same thing with trekking poles if you're using the baskets on the trekking poles. But if not using the baskets, these are going to have a tendency to slide right through. And again, if you're carrying something like a tripod that you're going to set up in camp, this might be useful for carrying that as well. Now, some packs have a line of webbing down the front with little loops. These are called daisy chains. Most packs are going to have these on the shoulder straps as well. And these are useful for attaching all kinds of items, often with a carabiner. A lot of aftermarket water bottle holders are designed to use these daisy chain straps. These are often what people will use to attach a Garmin InReach or other satellite messenger. You can buy pouches to hold your cell phone that attach to these. There's all kinds of possibilities. And of course, you don't have to use them at all, but they are an extra attachment point that might be helpful. Now, right at the top is a haul loop or handle. This is not for anything while you're backpacking. It is just to lift your heavy backpack. It's going to be a sturdy loop. You're going to use this when you're putting your backpack on, when you're picking it up off the ground, and you can use it to hang it if you want to keep it off the ground when you get to camp. Now, you might see some extra clips on your backpack, and often if these are near the top, these are going to exist based on how you use your backpack. So a lot of these larger backpacks have what's called a brain. This is the pouch on the top where you can put all kinds of different stuff, but often those are removable. The one I have, for instance, comes off and can change into a day pack. But a lot of times I'll find that I don't want the extra weight or even need all of that extra space. So I can remove that with the two little clips on the top. But without the brain on, I still want to be able to close the top of my backpack. So there are clips on there that once the brain is removed are going to allow you to do that. So if you see a couple of extra clips at the top, that's often going to be the case, that is a closure for when you're not using the brain on the backpack. And your backpack may have some kind of webbing on the back. Usually that's just going to make it so that you can store some things outside of the backpack. And any little straps on the side, especially in the ultra light backpacks, are going to serve the same purposes as those compression straps or those extra little straps that can secure items on the side of your pack. Now, if I've forgotten anything, please leave a comment below. If you have any questions about whatever is on your pack, what any little loops or buckles are for, please let me know. I'll try to answer those for you. But hopefully that answered some of your questions if you're new to backpacking and you have a new backpack. And remember, the key is 80% of that weight goes on your hips, 20% on your shoulders. It's going to make for a much better day. And I wish I would have known that 20 years ago. And again, if you want to see how to adjust that backpack step by step, I will leave a link to that video below. So thank you guys for stopping by, and hopefully I'll see you soon.